Hey everybody, in this video we're going to be doing a match preview for Nashville SC's game against Orlando City SC this weekend here at GEODIS Park. Hey everybody, I'm Tyler, welcome back to the channel. If you're new around here, don't forget to hit the like button and the subscribe button if you want to see more Nashville SC fan content. Now we have a team from Florida coming. Of course, we've just beaten a team from Florida in the Champions Cup. This team should be feeling really good about themselves. Nashville SC should be feeling really good. And we've got a team from Florida coming with a new manager in Orlando City SC. Now, of course, Orlando City's start to the season has been a little bit difficult to judge. They started under Perelman, and obviously he has been sacked now, and they now have Perelman as their new coach. They did get a win under him at the weekend. They managed to win 2-1 at the weekend, and honestly, maybe not the best performance, but they did manage to get 2 goals against Montreal, finishing that game 2-1. And I think there's some hope for them. Of course, they get a little bit of a new manager bounce, but in all honesty, for this match preview, I truly believe that Nashville SC are going to get the win for this one. And I'm going to say that right now. I think Nashville are going to win this game. They are a team that do have threats. In terms of their team news, they are maybe lacking a little bit. Brekalo might not be starting for them, may not be in the squad. Same with Spicer. He may not have traveled. I'm not quite sure at this point yet. But that would be big for Nashville in terms of them coming with a little bit of a weaker squad. And honestly, I think Nashville will have too much for this Orlando City side this weekend. But that doesn't mean there aren't threats, and that doesn't mean that we should take this one too lightly. If you look at the way they've played this last week, they are playing with a very kind of direct style of play. They are very quick to get the ball at the back and get it up to the top, try and counter. And I think that is something that could be a danger for Nashville SC. We've been playing with very high centre-backs in Palacios and Waleji, and honestly, that does leave a space, but both those guys are pretty quick. They're very dominant at the back. I think we should have enough to counter that and stop that transition play. But you never know, and it does take, one misstep, one ball that's slightly missed, one ball that's slightly overhit, and they can be through. And this team does have a good amount of pace, a good amount of attacking threat, a good amount of attacking intent. They are quite athletic as a squad, to be honest with you, in terms of their attack. They are an athletic squad. Now, while they do look good in the attack, I do think their defensive side is a little bit of a weakness for them. I do think we can get at their defense a little bit more. They don't look particularly organized at times. They do change their line and where the line is sitting, and they have been caught out with their line stepping up a little bit too high. Single balls in against Montreal, and that's how actually Montreal scored, and it's not hard to break through that. So honestly, I think we should have too much, like I mentioned, but you never know. And the other thing is, with this new manager, he's been out in their press conference and talking ahead of this game with the preview and saying that I think they're going to choose to play in a style that counters what Nashville can do. And I don't think they are going to necessarily play with a style of play. He talks a lot in the preview that they put on their website about playing the game, and that's what makes it exciting, is working out what to do for each opposition. And I think there is an opportunity for them here to perhaps try and sit with a low block, which I don't think we've really faced yet this season properly. And I think we could actually find that a little bit more challenging if that was what they were going to do. And I think we may see them do that this weekend. They do seem to like to sit and defend and counter, and that to me makes sense. I think they might sit quite deep, have us break them down, and try and then just hit us on the counter. I say that, but I do think BJ has shown a good amount of versatility this year, and I've been surprised at the fact that we have really gone against each opposition and played a different way, or found a different way of beating that opposition. That first leg against Miami, although we didn't score, we suddenly start hitting the ball long to Espinoza, which we haven't done all year. And Espinoza's getting the long ball against Noah Allen. So we've pinpointed things there. BJ has found the weakness in their team and tried to exploit it. And I'd like to say we could see that again this weekend, but I just don't think we know enough about how this Orlando team is going to play to do that. So I do think we have to step out and really attack. I want to see more intensity from the attacking line. I want to see that kind of intensity that we've seen against New England, against Minnesota here at home. We've looked really good at home. And that interchange that we've seen in the front line as well, I want to see more of that allows us to break down this opposition. If we do end up facing a low block, it's going to be a tougher game, and it's going to be harder for us to see that kind of performance that we've seen against New England and against Minnesota. It may mean that we're relying on Honey's free kicks, perhaps. It may mean that we're relying on more intricate balls in and around that central penalty area. And that's going to mean that we're going to have to play in a different way. And it's going to be really interesting to see how we do and deal with that and how we deal with this challenge. I think we may see more of our fullbacks pushing up, whether that's going to be Lovitz, whether it's going to be Nahar, Bauer, perhaps Reed Baker, Whiting. Those players are going to have to push further up and support the attack a little bit more. And maybe that means we do have someone like a Corcoran sits in with the defenders and plays that more quarterback role, perhaps. It's going to be an interesting game to see how it pans out and see how the dynamic of the team changes and shifts. But I think it could be a challenge. I honestly think at this point, Nashville are being looked at as a bit more of a scalp. And I think especially Perelman mentioning the fact that he wants to play in a way that counteracts the opposition. I think he knows that this Nashville SC side is pretty good. And I think people are starting to wake up to the fact that this Nashville team could go somewhere this year and could do a lot. And I think that's going to change the type of opposition that we're facing. The way that we have to face opposition, I think, may change. And I think this weekend might be the first marker we see of that. They've seen a team in Florida get beaten. You know, it was a draw, but we would go through on the away goals rule. Fine. We did what we needed to do. Those were the rules of the competition. And I think they're going to be very aware of what happened to their neighbours down the road and want to change that up, if I'm being honest with you. In terms of how Nashville should be feeling ahead of this game on Saturday, I think there should be some great energy coming into this game. Of course, that win going through in the Champions Cup is massive for this team, massive for, you know, even people in the back room, Mike Jacobs, BJ Callahan, that confidence to know that we can do it, we can get past this opposition, we can beat them, knock them out in a crucial moment. I think that should be big for the psychology of the backroom staff and the players themselves. We're also the only team that got their resting right, and I think BJ Callahan's got to be given big credit for that. We saw Cincinnati go out last night after throwing their MLS game at the weekend and then went out to Tigres last night. Inter Miami rested their whole 11 pretty much and then ended up drawing against us, getting knocked out. We made really good decisions last week, or BJ Callahan made really good decisions last week to keep up our momentum in the league and also get that win in Champions Cup. And I think that can't be underestimated. Wins are so important at the start of a season. To be resting so many players so soon for those two other teams, I think is a mistake, in all honesty. They've only just come out of the off-season. They've only just been getting back into playing. And honestly, when you're starting out, you just want to get points on the board, start to get momentum, get ahead of the opposition, and start to have them want to chase you. And I think we've got it absolutely right so far this year in terms of resting when we have had player load, but also allowing the team to gain that momentum to start getting wins on the board. And we haven't lost yet this season. That is so big. We have not lost yet. And this place should be an absolute fortress on Saturday night with the fans here, and also with the players knowing that they haven't lost. Brian Schwacke, you do not lose if you play Brian Schwacke. Simply, you don't lose. And so I think that should be a big factor going into this game and should give the team a massive amount of confidence. Now, in terms of the 11 that I think we'll play, you can check that out in the predicted 11 video. That's going to come next. You can check that out on the channel. So if you haven't already, hit the like button and subscribe and you'll see when that comes out. But I'm going to give you my score prediction now ahead of this game. For this one, I do think we should have too much. I think it might be a trickier game. Like I said, I think they will sit in. I think it will make it a little bit more challenging. But I am going to go for a 3-1 for this result. We've done really well at home. We've done really well scoring goals here. And I honestly don't think their defence is well organised enough to cause us too much of a problem when it comes to scoring. I do think there's that threat on the counter. We do seem to give away a silly goal. I'd love to see that not happen this weekend. I'd love to have a little bit more switched on moments and switched on thinking when it comes to us scoring. You know, you're always weakest after you score. And we've seen that twice here already this season, both against Minnesota and against the New England Revolution, where we've scored, restarted, they've, run up the field, smashed it in. Triantis, I think it was, that did it for Minnesota. Campana got the goal for New England Revolution very fast. Before we even really, focus, you're still sipping your Coke or whatever it is up there in the stands, and they've finished another one. So we need to focus after we score. But I think a 3-1 feels like it could be the right result for me. I'd like to see more goals here at GEODIS Park. I'd like to see a rocking atmosphere, and I think we will see that from the fans. It's just about the players now delivering that for us as well. So that is my match preview for the game. Let me know your score predictions in the comments below. I'm looking forward to being here tomorrow night for this game. It's going to be great. The weather's beautiful already. A little bit windy today, but it's going to be even more beautiful tomorrow. And I can't wait to see the boys in gold here. And let's give them a big celebration for coming out on that good feel-good atmosphere after that Inter Miami win. I think it's going to make a massive difference to the atmosphere here in this club, and we're going to send some shockwaves through the league. I think we're in a really good form. I think we're in a really good way this year. Opposition fans still don't quite know what's coming when they come to Nashville, and they're going to quickly start learning that, and I think we're going to have to adapt to that. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit the like button and the subscribe button. Don't forget to check out the predicted 11 that will be out after this video, and I can't wait for the game here at the weekend.